Thank you for joining us to learn more about On the Table, Wednesday, March 15th. I'm Lisa Adkins, President and CEO of Bluegrass Community Foundation, and we're so glad that you're interested in learning more. On the Table is an opportunity to gather around a table with friends, neighbors, colleagues, and maybe even a few people we're meeting for the first time to talk about the issues, big and small, that impact our quality of life and that of Lexington. So what's on the table? It's a one-day community engagement initiative on Wednesday, March 15th. It's going to happen across Lexington, community-wide, in small groups of 8 to 12 people, gathering to have a conversation about our quality of life. Everyone is invited to host or attend. If you live in Lexington, if you work in Lexington, if you're a student in Lexington, or if you're just a person who lives in the region and is interested and wants to be part of the conversation, you're invited to join. At the Community Foundation, we truly believe in the power of conversation to clarify, energize, and organize people to do things for good. And On the Table is really an initiative to encourage civic conversation, foster new relationships, and generate fresh ideas. So why On the Table? We believe that now more than ever, people do need to connect, engage, know their neighbors, and participate in civil and civic discourse. And on Wednesday, March 15th, it's going to be the opportunity for thousands of people gathered around hundreds of tables to do that very thing in Lexington, Fayette County. As to why we're sponsoring On the Table, this year, in August of 2017, Bluegrass Community Foundation celebrates its 50th anniversary. We're excited to reach this milestone and believe that bringing On the Table to Lexington would be a terrific way to help mark that anniversary, and that all of the feedback from these hundreds of conversations and thousands of participants would be an important part of informing the Community Foundation's grant-making, focus, and priorities as we look to the decades ahead. But On the Table won't only inform the Community Foundation, it's also going to help inform the future plans for the city of Lexington. Lexington is in the midst of its comprehensive planning process for the city. It's called Imagine Lexington. And as part of this comprehensive planning process, civic engagement, citizen feedback, and input is an important part. And this is going to be a great enhancement to the community engagement process for the city's comprehensive plan. So all of the feedback from these conversations will also be shared with the city of Lexington. So as for the specifics, the vast majority of these conversations will all take place on Wednesday, March 15th. It can really be any time that day, any time, whether it's morning, afternoon, late in the day, evening. It's really all up to the host of each conversation. In terms of where, we are really encouraging mealtime conversations. This can happen, again, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It can be break time, tea time, snack time. It can be over dessert or cocktails. Again, it's entirely up to the host. The point is to bring 8 to 12 people together in an informal manner, and we find the best way to do that is to do it over food and beverage. It's entirely up to the host. Where specifically these On the Table conversations take place is, again, entirely up to the host. It will happen in private homes. It will happen in offices. You can take your group out to a restaurant. Fayette County Public Schools is a partner in this effort, but parochial and private schools are also welcome to join. So there will be school time, daytime conversations, places of worship, public spaces, from the library to other arts and cultural and city spaces. These conversations can happen absolutely anywhere. And in fact, there are certain public facilities in Lexington that if you have a group or a large group that you want to host these conversations for, but you don't have a place to go, check with the Lexington Public Library. They're reserving all of their meeting rooms that day and making them available free of charge, not only in the downtown library, but all in the Lexington Public Library branches. Other facilities such as the Lyric Theater, Lex Arts Place downtown, and others are making themselves available free of charge to host group meetings that day, whether you have a small group of 8 to 12 or you want to bring 50 people and divide them up into tables of 8. It's really entirely up to you. And if you want to do this but you don't know where to have your event, contact us at the Bluegrass Community Foundation and we'll be happy to assist. So you've decided that you're going to host a conversation of 8 to 12 people. What should you serve? Again, there's a theme here. It's entirely up to the host. We know that these conversations will take all kinds of different forms. Folks are planning already to gather over breakfast. They're going to gather over a lunch or dinner. They're going to gather over donuts and coffee, and they're going to brown bag it. So it's really up to the host or the organization that is organizing their particular on-the-table conversations, and it does not need to be an expensive endeavor. We know some are having folks brown bag their lunch, and the host is providing a dessert and a beverage. There are neighborhoods where they're organizing potlucks, and everyone contributes a dish. Some hosts are taking their group and hosting it and taking their group out to dinner, to a restaurant or in their own home. Others, everyone is going Dutch and covering their own expense. Some other organizations are really just doing it over cookies and coffee or continental breakfast in the morning. It really is it's really entirely up to the host. So again, you decided to join us. What are the specifics? Essentially, you're going to have a conversation of approximately 1 hour that really hones in on the quality of life in Lexington. And not only what's great about Lexington, although you'll have time to talk about that, but how to make it better, how to make Lexington even more sustainable, just, safer, stronger, and vibrant. And you don't have to worry because we have lots of tools to get the conversation going. If you go to bgcf.org/on-the-table, there is lots of information. There are host toolkits. There are conversation starters and conversation prompts to get your conversation going. But it really is meant to be organic. When you actually get to the host toolkit and review that, note that you don't have to discuss every single one of those conversation starter suggestions. You may pick one or two. Or you may go in a slightly different direction. But the overall theme is to have a meaningful discussion about the quality of life in Lexington, what we love and what our ideas are, our concerns are, and our suggestions are, our solutions to make it even better. So we really believe it's important to participate because your voice matters. So whether you're considering this as just an individual who wants to host a group of 8 to 12 people, that citizen voice is so critical to this kind of conversation. And we believe that organizational partners are very critical to the conversation. So whether you may be with a nonprofit organization, a place of worship, a business, a community organization, you too are welcome to participate and host one or more on-the-table conversations. So in terms of why we believe that it's important at the Community Foundation, this really is a first-of-its-kind community engagement initiative where we are hosting hundreds of conversations and thousands of people all over the city, all in a single day, with a really thoughtful process to collect and analyze all of that feedback and put that information back out to the community. Again, this process will help inform the city's comprehensive plan called Imagine Lexington. It will also inform, as we've discussed, the future plans of Bluegrass Community Foundation. We also think there's great power in community connection and civil and civic conversation, and we believe that each individual's voice matters, and we want to hear from you. There are any number of ways to participate in On the Table, and it's important to remember that there is no cost to participate, no matter what path you take. So first of all, you can be an On the Table host. Anybody in Lexington, Fayette County, is eligible to be a host. All you do is go to our website at bgcf.org and click through to the On the Table section of our website, and you can sign up right online to be a host. Again, no cost to participate. All you're doing is committing to gather at 8 to 12 friends around a table, whether it's your home, your office, a community location, your place of worship, and you're going to issue invitations and gather those people, and that's really the commitment of a host. You sign up online through bgcf.org. If you want to be a super host, and we now have, I think, more than 24 of these, you are likely a really ambitious person or an organization that wants to host 20 or more conversations that day. You can also just participate by being a guest and having your voice heard, and that means you'll be invited by a host or a super host to join one of their tables. If you'd like to participate, but you're not sure how you may get invited to one of those conversations, you can sign up as an unaffiliated guest, and you can again do that on the Community Foundation's website at bgcf.org/on the table. You sign up to be an unaffiliated guest, and we actually have conversations happening all over the city on March 15th, different times, different locations, where you can just sign up to join a hosted table, really designed for unaffiliated guests that want to participate but want to ensure that they get to have a seat at the table on March 15th. And then the final way you can participate is an ambassador. You can help us spread the word, and there are tools and ways you can do that, and it's all explained at bgcf.org/on the table. What does it cost? It costs nothing. So there is no participation fee, and if you choose to be a host or a super host, the host or super host controls their own costs. You decide if you're going to underwrite the cost for your conversation and meal, or if you're going to do it more as a potluck or a brown bag or a shared expense event. Entirely up to the host. So this really works for hosts who can put this kind of event together at all different price points. So we mentioned tools earlier, and there are a variety of tools to make it really simple for you to have a successful on-the-table conversation. All those tools are at bgcf.org/on the table, and they can be downloaded right there. Today, the host toolkit is available, and you can download that, and you can read it online. But it really tells you what to do to get your event started, how to go about inviting your guests. It offers conversation starters and some really great do's and don'ts to have a successful conversation. It's all in the toolkit. Youth and schools are invited to participate, and there is also a terrific toolkit for those audiences that even include lesson plans for teachers. There is a family toolkit. So another great way to have your on-the-table conversation with 8 to 12 people. Let's say you're a family of 4. You may want to invite another family or 2, whether they're in your neighborhood from your school or your place of worship, or colleagues from work, or just folks from maybe across the city. But you want to invite another family or 2, and you can have a family on-the-table conversation. Again, the toolkit's very comprehensive and really gives great tips and suggestions for how to really involve successfully even the youngest family members. We want this to be an inclusive experience, so all of the toolkits will be available not only in English but Spanish and French. And because of our partnership with the Fayette County Public Schools, the Youth and School Toolkit and Family Toolkit will also be available online with translations that are in Japanese, Chinese, Congolese, Nepalese, and Swahili. So we really hope this is an inclusive event where everyone can come on the table. You can also download a fact sheet in the tools section, and additional resources are being added frequently, so you'll want to check back through bgcf.org. So the other important tool is the invite link. So if you are a host or a super host, you can actually issue the invitation to your On the Table event any way you'd like to do that. You can call your friends, you can send an email of your choice or an email invitation using one of the online email invite tools that are publicly available. You can send an old-fashioned print invitation if you want. So that's entirely up to the host how you invite guests to your On the Table event. There is one thing that we are asking that all hosts do, and once you know who's coming to your On the Table event, the one thing that we ask you to collect is the names and email addresses of your guests. The Community Foundation is then going to email to the host an online registration link that we ask that you in turn email to your guests. We are asking each guest that will receive this email registration link from you, their host, to get online and to register themselves with their name and their email. The reason we are collecting these emails is that everyone who participates in an On the Table conversation will have the opportunity to participate in an online study, an online survey. And that online survey will be emailed directly to their email inbox if you as the host email them the invite link and they choose to register and fill that out. This this online study is important because it is a mechanism for how we can collect data from thousands of people where they will get to reflect individually on what were the big ideas of their conversation, what were the most important points of the conversation, what were the great solutions offered, what were the most common concerns discussed, what were the themes of the conversation, and they'll also get to reflect and report on their experience. Did they find the On the Table conversation a meaningful way to be more involved, to feel more connected as a community? They'll get to reflect on all of that through the survey. All that happens because you as a host will receive this email registration link from the Community Foundation, and in turn, you'll email it to your guests and encourage them to register if they want to participate in the online evaluation. To us, it's a really important point, and we hope that you'll help us out with that. So if you want to register as a host for On the Table, what do? You go to bgcf.org/on-the-table, and from the drop-down menu, you click on registration. It's going to take you to the page you're looking at. It's going to give you all kinds of information about On the Table and let you click through the links with other tools and resources. Once you've hit on the registration link, what you do is you fill in your first and last name. If you are hosting your individual conversation as part of a superhost, you can indicate that. You're going to fill out your email and a little bit more contact information so the Community Foundation can communicate with you and send you reminders and tips and tools about hosting the most successful On the Table conversation that you can have. And really, once you do that and fill out that information about yourself as a host and you hit submit, you'll know that you're successfully registered when you get this message you see at the bottom of the screen. It'll say, thank you, your information has been received. You know that your On the Table conversation has been officially registered and that we will be able to communicate with you as we get closer to March 15th. Earlier I mentioned superhosts, and these are organizations, whether they're businesses, nonprofits, places of worship, that have already agreed to host at least 20 on-the-table conversations that day. So today we have about 24 super hosts. More are signing up all the time, and we're really excited that we have already hit our goal of having at least 5,000 folks across Lexington participate with us in conversations on March 15th. And if this seems like a right fit for your organization or business, that you'd like to host 20 or more tables, we encourage you to join us. And there's several ways you can be a super host. Some of these super hosts that you see listed, they are having a large event. So they have reserved a space. They're going to perhaps have 200 people or 200 of their members or friends join them, and they're going to break up into a number of small tables, 20 tables of 10, with a facilitated conversation going on at each of those 20 tables. That's how they're hosting 20 tables. There are other organizations that you see listed, and they may be doing a group event, but it may have 5 or 10 tables at once. The way they're getting to 20, they are then having, whether it is their staff, perhaps their board of directors, or others are in combination with the 5 or 10 events they're hosting. They have individuals in hosting that are counted in their number of 20 that are hosting an event at a place they choose, whether it's their home or a restaurant or somewhere else, and that's how they're getting to 20. And there are other organizations, that's how they're doing their entire 20. They're not hosting any kind of mass event. They are simply organizing others within their network so that they are organizing or ensuring that at least 20 conversations are being held on March 15th or in close proximity to that date. And that's all the various ways one can be a superhost. So if you're interested in that, again, you can go to the website, download a form to be a superhost, or you can call the Community Foundation at 859-225-3343, and we're happy to talk to you about serving as a superhost. One great thing we're doing is a special event called Lead the Table, and this is really being led by the efforts of one of our planning partners, Leadership Lexington, but we're having a party and training session. It is optional, it's free of charge for all of our on-the-table hosts. This event is going to be on March 1st, 2017. That's a Wednesday evening. It's going to be held at Keeneland from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. There's going to be a short national speaker that is going to talk about sort of the importance of events like On the Table and what can happen as a result of them happening right here in Lexington. You'll have an opportunity, if you wish, to really practice hosting your table. There will be tips again and do's and don'ts discussed about having the most successful on-the-table event that you can have. There's going to be food and beverage, and it should be a great evening. You will also be able to pick up a host swag bag that will have printed copies of the right kind of toolkit for your event. It's going to have pens and little party favors for all of your guests. And every host that does come to the host pickup party will also receive a $25 charity giving card from Bluegrass Community Foundation, which you can redeem on behalf of the charity of your choice. It's going to be a great evening, a lot of fun, and if you sign up to be a host or a super host, you'll be invited to this, and more information will be coming in advance of March 1st. And finally, the Community Foundation is a big believer in the power of partnership, and we want to thank our planning partners that are really making this just a fantastic day and a powerful initiative. So those partners include the City of Lexington and its Division of Planning, Leadership Lexington, and the Fayette County Public Schools. All of these partners are actively involved in helping introduce On the Table to the citizens of Lexington. We would welcome your questions. So if you do not find the information you need at bgcf.org/on the table, please give us a call at 3343. You can also email us at onthetable@bgcf.org. Again, at the Community Foundation, we are just big believers in the power and importance of community conversation. We do believe that your voice matters, and that when we come together as a community to learn from and with each other, we really do have the power to impact both neighborhoods and lives. So we hope you'll join us on Wednesday, March 15th for On the Table, and we look forward to you participating. Thanks for joining us today.